Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Today we're talking about the Armada ARV 106. Fantastic ski. The ARV line is really cool. It's been around for such a long time now. And I think Armada nailed it with the new skis. There's all sorts of them over here to my right that you can't see. And I just got thinking about them before I started filming this video. And there are 100% consistent themes throughout the line. They all share basically the same construction. They're all twin tips. But I do feel like as you move through them, there's kind of like some shifts in their personalities, with the 88 feeling like a real kind of dedicated park ski, and the 94 almost a dedicated park ski. The 100 starts to become more of a little bit more of a versatile all-mountain ski as well. And then moving into this ARV 106, I do think it still has that freestyle influence and that twin tip vibe, but to me it kind of starts feeling more like a strong freeride ski, which I think is really cool and kind of interesting. And I would say that's been consistent with the ARV 106 for a long time. This was kind of the last ski to change when Armada recently redeveloped the ARV collection. The ski that was this ski's predecessor was even stiffer and even heavier. So if anything, they've kind of dialed that back, but I do still feel like it has some of those characteristics, which I think is great. You know, I think it's good for Armada to have a ski like this in their line. So like I said, it's built the same as all the other ARV skis. It's got a poplar wood core, and then it's got an ash layer underfoot that's basically for binding retention. They also use their wedge wall technology, so they're using kind of triangular or an angled relationship between the sidewall and the core of the ski. Just helps kind of keep pushing things together as you're impacting on rails or rocks or anything else that you might hit out there. This is, gosh, I believe we've got a 179 here. Nope, sorry, 180. I always forget because the narrower skis are 179, or the 100 at least is 179. Anyways, we've got a 180 here. 106 underfoot, 1,900 grams. So it's not crazy heavy. The old ski, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty darn sure it was well over 2,000 grams. And that was always an interesting conversation of like, why is this ski this heavy? So they've brought that weight down a little bit. And then they also, I think they softened up the flex nicely, but it's still a supportive flex pattern. I think that's important to know. I mean, obviously there are stiffer skis out there, and if you skied this back to back with a Declivity X model from Armada, you'd find a little bit of a burlier feel in the declivity, but it's still a pretty darn strong ski. And then I was really happy when this ski received the new ARV updates, because I think the shape is just really, really good on these new skis. So camber underfoot, there's actually a decent amount of camber height, so you get nice poppy, snappy flex. And then a decent amount of tail rocker, but not crazy for a ski that's 106 underfoot. And a little bit longer in the tip rocker up here in the 106. So does have like slightly more directional vibes than some of the narrower ARVs, but it's still pretty balanced. That's the furthest forward mount point, so we're not like perfectly weighted exactly in the middle, but that's pretty darn close to just like the true center of the ski. So that's something to consider, is it is intended to be skied more centered. If you're not used to being on a centered or close to centered ski, it can feel weird, especially on a 106 ski that you're probably going to be taking into the powder. If you're used to it, no worries. If you're not, then it's something to think about, and maybe wouldn't be the right choice for you. There's a lot of directional powder skis out there. So yeah, ARV 106. I actually was lucky to ski it in our actual 3-day ski test this year, which was really fun. I tried to spend a little bit more time testing and less time just filming other people testing. So that was really exciting for me. And then someone I work very closely with, Matt, he also got on it. And the two of us have known each other for, I'm going to date us, Matt, but just about 20 years. Been skiing together for a long time, and we both like really similar things. And I thought it was really interesting that we both had basically the same feedback about this ski. I said something like it feels more like kind of like a free ride ski that's infused with some big mountain performance, because it just feels like it comes alive at speed, and it really likes that feel. And then Matt, I think in his feedback, he was like, the steeper the better, because the ski loves speed. And I think that's just very interesting, because if you look at this ski just through the lens of what Armada is as a company, you might be inclined to think it's going to be pretty light, it's going to be soft flexing, it's going to be very, very playful, it's going to feel like a wide park ski. And while a lot of those things are true, it does feel playful, it does feel like a wide park ski. It has so many capabilities outside that. Like, I would take this and use it as a Vermont powder day ski, and it would be incredible. I would definitely go back to the further back mount point, so you get a little bit more rise in the tip, but you could ski it fast. It's pretty nimble in the trees because of the shape, and it's just, there's a lot of good things about it for being a versatile, fun freeride ski that also is a twin tip. So I think it would be unfair to the ski to just ignore its freeride capabilities. And yeah, I think it's a really good ski, and I think it's one that a lot of people would like. If you're curious about the graphics, there's basically two options for 2026 for ARV graphics. You've got this kind of throwback purple, louder graphic. And then if you don't like that, you've just got a really clean, simple black graphic that, you know, if you wanted to, you could spice it up with some colorful bindings or stuff, something like that. So that's it. That is the ARV 106. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we will see you out there on the slopes.